James greeted me with a warm smile, which helped me briefly forget about the bomb and the threatening letter. I'd put the letter in my handbag and planned to show it to him once we'd spoken to Mr. Taylor and Annie.
"Are you ready?"
he asked. "I think so."
"I'm not sure how best to say this," said James as we passed the pub, "but I have perhaps shared a little too much of the case with you. There are certain rules about how the Yard works with the press, and I may have transgressed a few of them."
He stopped and turned to me.
"I can rely on your discretion, can't I?"
"Of course, James. I'm here to help, not to write about the story. As you know, my colleague Mr. Fish has the story, so you can trust me to keep everything confidential, unless you instruct me otherwise."
"Thank you, Penny."
James smiled, and we continued walking.
"I felt certain I could trust you before I mentioned it. The Yard is extremely careful about the information it passes on to the press, for fear that an investigation could be compromised, so you and I are walking on eggshells."
"I will be careful. You have my word."
"Thank you for printing an appeal for information about the young man we saw at the cemetery. Y Division has found a witness who told them he saw a man of that description climbing over the fence of Highgate Cemetery on the night that Lizzie died."
"Really? It has to be him."
"It sounds like this man might have been involved. There could be a reasonable explanation for him being there, but it does sound suspicious."
"Did the witness have any more information about him?"
"Sadly, no. However, I plan to speak to him myself just to be certain. Y Division is working on finding more witnesses."
We reached the rambling, dark-bricked house Mr. Taylor had built for himself. Lizzie had lived here with him during their marriage, and I wondered how she had ever managed to feel comfortable in this place. The building was a cluster of towers, turrets, chimneys, and ornamental gables. There were many little arched windows with wrought iron tracery, and the porch was of an iron and glass construction, with castings of various animals incorporated into it. A row of rusty railings ran along the front of the house, each topped with a spike.
"Inspector Blakely!"
came a call from behind us. My heart sank as I turned to see Tom Clifford from the Holborn Gazette approach. He was chewing tobacco, as usual, and his pork pie hat was pushed back on his head, revealing a creased brow. He stopped and regarded us with his hands in his pockets.
"Come to arrest Taylor, have we?"
James's face clouded.
"No, I am just conducting my investigations."
"He must be the one who done it, though, don't you think?" Tom pulled out a notebook and pencil.
"Scotland Yard has nothing to say to the press at the present moment."
"No?
What's she doing here, then?"
Tom pointed his pencil at me.
"Miss Green was acquainted with the deceased actress and is assisting me with the investigation."
Tom Clifford wrote this down.
"And what's that mean exactly? What's she actually doing?" "She is doing what I have just told you. Now, please excuse us. Bit unfair the Morning Express getting preferential treatment, ain't it, Inspector? What about the other papers? If you don't talk to us, we'll come up with our own stories, if you know what I mean."
James walked away from Tom towards Mr. Taylor's front door, and I followed.
"Is it Taylor what's done it, Inspector?" Tom continued. "Is that why you're here?"
The maid opened the door before we even had a chance to tug the bell pull. She showed us into a large, dingy hallway, where an enormous stuffed bear stared glassily at us with its teeth bared. Its presence sparked a memory of Lizzie complaining to me about her husband's penchant for taxidermy, and explaining how she had requested that the stuffed animals be confined to a storeroom. They'd clearly reappeared over the past 5 years, and now stared at us from various glass cases on the walls and tables. James and I followed the maid into the drawing-room, which had an unpleasant, animal-like smell. Heavy brown curtains hung at the windows, and there were many framed bill posters from circus shows on the walls. My eyes fell upon a poster showing a slim, youthful Mr. Taylor, dressed in a scarlet jacket and brandishing a whip, alongside several prowling lions. The current Mr. Taylor regarded us from the hearthrug, where he stood smoking a cigar. His ginger hair was neatly combed into a side parting, and his mouth was hidden behind his large moustache.